Maritime Made on Eastlink is presented by Nova Scotia Business Inc., working with companies across Nova Scotia to be more successful exporters every step of the way.
Halifax's Bliss Caffeine Bar has become a sweet landmark in the city. Two of their daily fresh pastry offerings are different flavors of their Italian-style bomboloni donuts and Pop-Tarts, a nostalgic treat.
In a nutshell, and our little motto is pastry, brunch, and lunch, because we feel the caffeine bar part of the name speaks to the coffee. So we operate as both takeaway and dine-in. So takeaway, you can always head right in, go to the barista bar, you can purchase a variety of beverages, a variety of pastry, as well as our sandwiches are always available for takeaway. And then if you want to dine in, you just wait at the door, similar to other restaurants, and someone will come right over, bring you to the table, and then we have the full brunch menu, as well as a small selection of cocktails and alcohol available for dine-in.
Michelle Boyd, co-owner and baker, measured out all of the donut ingredients by weight for consistency: flour, sugar, salt, buttermilk, eggs, butter, and vanilla. Lastly, she measures out water and yeast. Checking the recipe, she then grabs a mixing bowl. In go the dry ingredients, followed by the wet. The water and yeast are stirred together and added. After mixing with a spatula, she grabs the mixer hook and brings it and the bowl over to their floor-standing mixer. Bliss typically bakes up to 160 donuts per day. The batter mixes for 5 minutes at a low speed to incorporate the ingredients into a smooth dough. Then, it will mix at a higher speed for 11 minutes to keep working the dough. Once finished, the bowl is removed and Michelle grabs a pan and parchment, spraying the surface. The dough is slid off the mixer hook and she begins to stretch it out. This allows the dough to proof or aerate the yeast faster. Air bubbles will form as the dough changes size. It goes into the proofing cabinet and a timer for 45 minutes is set. Individual parchment squares are cut out and placed on another pan, and the work surface is floured. The dough is tapped to check its aeration. Ready, it's dumped onto the flour, and more flour is added. It's spread out to an ideal thickness, which also collapses air bubbles. Individual donuts now get cut out. These balls go back into the proofer for 35 to 45 minutes, depending on the room temperature. Afterwards, they're ready to deep fry in canola oil at 375 degrees. Michelle gently pushes each one off the parchment paper, also ensuring they have their own space to grow. Each side is fried for 45 seconds. The white center line is the sign of a good donut. It shows how much it rose. Once cooled enough, cream filling is added, along with other flavors. A vanilla glaze is heated and coloring stirred in. Michelle uses a thermometer to ensure it's the right sugar content to sit on and not spill over donuts. Holes are poked into the donuts, and a vanilla bean custard fills some of the donuts. Others are filled in the same way with blueberry compote. Some vanilla bean custard donuts are topped with vanilla glaze. Others are rolled in cinnamon and sugar. Using white chocolate to decorate and attach edible flowers, the vanilla bean donuts are finished. Next, a lavender glaze is made for the lavender blueberry donuts. It's made from icing sugar, milk, and salt. Ground lavender is added before it's double boiled. The blueberry compote donuts are dipped, and 2 blueberries and crushed lavender are put on top. The fluffy donuts are complete.
For me, it's about the people. I love meeting people. It's so fun. It's so fun to be a part of the community in a way where you're just providing a service that makes everybody happy, like coffee and treats and brunch, like who's not in a good mood to come in here, right? So I love that aspect. And for Michelle, it's definitely about showcasing what she can do and the creativity side of her take on brunch and pastries. So for both of us, we definitely both love people, we both love food, but if like in a nutshell, for me, I'm all about the people and she's all about supplying those people with the best treats and the best brunch that they can have.
Pop-Tarts are made from a butter pastry that's made up of flour, butter, salt, and water. This has been in the fridge as it needs to be rolled cold. The cold keeps the butter in pieces, creating a nicely layered pastry. Michelle flours the table and loosens the dough by pressing on it. She rolls it out, making it thin enough to fit through their dough sheeter and to make a maximum amount. It's fed through the top and rolls out the bottom. The first time it cracks around the edges and she pinches these frayed pieces together. It goes through 4 times. Each time, flour is added to protect the dough. Rulers are used to measure the rectangle of dough and to cut off the edges with a paring knife. 24 rectangles of equal size are cut out. Each gets paired to become a Pop-Tart. Up to 50 are made each day. The pairs get chilled overnight before being put together and baked. Egg wash is painted around the sides of the dough to seal the pastry. Raspberry compote is stirred. Then a spoonful is placed on each bottom layer. The tops are put on and the edges sealed. Each Pop-Tart is coated in egg wash to create a golden sheen. These bake for 15 minutes at 325 degrees, then for another 20 minutes after being rotated. This Bliss brand colored glaze is a cafe secret. Once the Pop-Tarts cool down, the signature glaze is texturally smeared onto each one. Small dried rose petals are sprinkled on top. These tart and sweet treats are now ready to put in Bliss's display case for sale.
It's been very easy for us to transition back and forth between just takeaway or having the dine-in, and the space being so large, we're actually able to move our tables around nicely so we can keep lots of seats in here at a good distance. So it's been going really, really well because when we did the business plan, we incorporated COVID not going away. So we planned for this and we were ready for this. And of course, it's a lot of pivoting going back and forth, but things are still going really well. The community still wants to come out. They need a break from whomever they're living with and they want to come get a coffee. They want a treat. They want to see smiling faces. So overall, it's been amazing and been going really, really well. And we're super excited for COVID to end and see where we get to after that.